Norqain is an independent Swiss luxury watch brand. Established in 2018, it rose to popularity very quickly. Known for its high quality craftsmanship, bold designs, and an emphasis on adventure and lifestyle. The founder, Ben Kuffer, his family has deep ties to the Swiss watchmaking industry. He even used to work at Breitling. The entire Kuffer family has a rich history in the watchmaking industry. Norqain has been brought into the UAE by Ahmed Siddiqui and Sons, and we are here to meet the Vice President Tobias Kuffer, who is the brother of the founder Ben Kuffer. Both Ben and Toby are deeply rooted into the watchmaking industry, love adventure and outdoor sports, and we are here to talk more about their beautiful watches. Toby, welcome to the Cornea Impression.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to Dubai.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be in Dubai. Obviously, especially now in October in Switzerland, it's a little colder and rainier. So sunny weather over here is always good.
Well, we are looking forward to the winter because that's our summer for us.
Exactly.
The summer in Europe is our winter in Dubai.
Exactly.
Yeah. So guys, we're sitting here with Toby from Norqain. He's the VP of Norqain. Norqain watches, obviously you guys know that. And we have a bunch of beautiful watches over here, which we will show you shortly. But let's start with a few questions for him. Norqain being a relatively smaller, newer brand, it has got tremendous success from the world. What makes you think got you that success?
I think it's a couple of factors. Most importantly, I will say hard work, of course. But no, if we really go back, all the way back, the company was founded 2018 by my brother. We're family-owned, independent, so that's very important to us. But even though the company is only 6 years old, there's a lot of experience in the company, right? So my brother and I were the third generation in the watch industry. Our grandfather was a watchmaker. Our dad produced luxury watches for 45 years. We have amazing people on our board, very experienced people. Jean-Claude Beaver, who joined us in 2022. Yeah. So the know-how, the experience, the network was there. And I think in terms of product, we just wanted to bring a little bit breath of fresh air to the traditional industry, some funky colors as we see here on the tray, new materials, and especially since Jean-Claude joined us, be innovative. That was the challenge he set to us, and we really took it to heart.
So obviously, like you said, that you guys want to play with new materials, new designs, be younger, more funkier. How are you going to build into a long-term strategy with this kind of thought process and not go into being traditional or being very formal with your approach? How are you going to take this approach and make it consistent?
I think what helps is that we've already seen now our hero icon models are already the Wild One skeletons. So we launched the turquoise last summer and is our absolute top seller. So seeing the success of a loud piece, which obviously either you're gonna love it or it's not your cup of tea at all, but at least it's different. It's out there. People will recognize it. It's very striking when you have it on the wrist. So we saw that success, and we said this is the way to go. And I think what's also important, we're not just going to say, okay, now we found a piece which sells well, we'll just stick to this. As you saw with the 8K flyback chronograph, which we launched in September, we always want to keep innovating, challenging the market, challenging ourselves as well. And we can tell you also for next year, we already have next very cool projects in the pipeline.
So I'm looking forward to the next one as well, because these are some absolutely stunning pieces.
Thank you very much.
Now, you guys talk about having your own configurator, right? That's the talking point that's been going around. That's the buzzword. Yeah. 35 million combinations.
It's 3.5.
3.5 million. Oh, sorry, my bad.
It's also quite good.
My bad. Even 3.5 million, how do you all manage that? How are the logistics? What goes into thinking of how to put 3.5 million combinations together?
So this is a project that was in the making for 2 years. When we first developed the first Wild One pieces, and we saw the modularity of the case. So every case in the Wild One collection is made out of 25 single pieces, components. When we saw that, we said that this potentially could finally be the piece where you can offer customers full customization. I mean, we've all seen cool projects where you can change the bezel or the dial, but this, we said, with all these single pieces, we can really offer customization. We worked on it for 2 years with Jean-Claude Beaver as well, with our fantastic partner Biwi, who helped a lot in the feasibility of the project, because as you mentioned, logistically, it's
a nightmare.
Super tough. Otherwise, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of planning, a lot of sacrifices, also from our trusted suppliers and partners. We said, okay, listen, we believe in this project. Of course, logistically, it's a nightmare, but it's very cool, so let's do it. And we're super happy that then this year in Watches and Wonders, we were able to launch it. And 3 months later, delivered the first models. So it's a 3 months delivery time, which again is something we're also very proud of.
So you can customize. I'm going to pick up one of the watches over here, right? You can customize the belt, the case, and you can do different colors.
Yeah. So
and obviously the plate on the side.
Yeah, I mean, there's 12 steps actually in the configurator.
Okay.
You can customize. So important part here, we work with the Nortec. The configurator is only with gold models.
Right. Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
That filters a little bit for our supply chain. So it's either red gold, white gold.
Right.
You can choose the movement, which is very special. So you can either go for the Kennedy manufactured caliber, freehand movement with 70-hour power reserve, or you go for the skeletonized version.
Right.
After that, you can change your hands.
Okay.
You can even change the hands, colors. So the 3 colors you see here, that would be a possibility to play around. You can change the color of the outer ring if you're on the skeletonized. If you go for the closed dial, we have very cool dials, such as, for example, a dial which looks like the stone of the famous Matterhorn, Gneiss, in a darker shade or a white shade. And something I personally really love, I'll show you a photo after of a customer example, is on the case back, we actually print picture quality photos. So we have the one I'll show you is his family photo. So he has his wife and his 2 kids on there. It looks amazing. Another one I just saw yesterday, a finished product which came out, is with an old-timer convertible on the case back, same color as the watch. So it's you can really play around and make it your own piece.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to playing around. I haven't played around with it yet, but I will do that shortly.
Yeah.
As an independent watch manufacturer, family owned, like you said, what are your biggest challenges that you face?
I mean, to be honest, as I said, we founded 2018. We launched on the market 2019. We had a very, very successful first year. Just to give an idea, we were very realistic. We didn't go into the market naively. We said, okay, if we open 10 doors in the first year in Switzerland, that would be a nice start. We ended up opening 72 doors in 12 countries in 2019. So we really saw, okay, we have something which people are open to, and then accepting a new brand. They see, okay, there is still space for a new brand. But then the first big challenge, COVID. Right?
Yeah, obviously.
Was a huge blow to a young, I mean, for everybody, it was a big challenge. At the time, we were 6 employees at Norqain. But there, I have to say, that's in April 2020 is when Jean-Claude Beaver reached out to my brother. It was really the start of lockdown in Switzerland. We were worried, obviously, and that's when Jean-Claude Beaver contacted us. Got in touch with my brother. My brother showed him the collection, told him the story, and he said, I want to help you guys. I've been looking for a young Swiss company to give back. He said, I've been receiving 45 years, now it's time to give back. And he chose Norqain in a very tough moment. So, of course, that again gave us some confidence, but it was a huge challenge, obviously. Luckily, we can say, because we were so small, the structures were so small, we process very, very quick decision taking. So we could adjust the course very quickly. But yeah, that was the first big challenge. I mean, now there's wars going on, obviously, that impacts everybody. I think for us, it's just always that we focus on what we can, where we can have an impact. There's a lot of things where you can't really change, right? You just have to accept it and adapt. I think we do that quite well. And our other challenges, of course, especially when there's a little slowdown in the market and suppliers, you will have heard some of the suppliers laying off or going into partial. For us, we are in growth, so we would like to produce more. That's sometimes a challenge, that we're not getting as much as movements as we would need. But I think positive challenges.
Well, growth is always is an important aspect of it. Managing it is an important aspect of
Absolutely.
it. And when you meet challenges along the way, adapting to that is a true key to success in a long-term format.
Absolutely.
But moving on, watch sales in India, like you said last week, and the Middle East are growing.
Mm-hmm.
What particular thought process do you have for these markets?
I mean, for me, it's always nice to see. We just talked about India. I came back from a great trip to Delhi last week. It's just nice to see that these two markets also here in the UAE are very open to something new and something different. Again, I come back to something colorful. I think colors are really back in fashion, and we're happy that that's something we believed in already before. I think it was really back in fashion. So that's something which we see big potential globally, but especially in India and the UAE. Obviously, it's a very knowledgeable watch market. Customers know their watches, but seeing that they're really open for something different, something new. Of course, if the quality is right, if the quality-price ratio is right, which is for us has always been one of the top priorities. We said innovation and offering one of the best price-quality ratios in the industry is really our mission. So yeah, I think the feedback we're getting in India and in the UAE of people who get to see the brand, of course, brand awareness is something we need to develop. But when they see the products, the feedback we're getting is very positive and encouraging for the next years.
When it comes to the quality to price ratio that you said, your products are pretty much spot on. They sit in the sweet spot, which is the value for money category, which I don't think any customer can say no to.
Thank you. Of course, I agree, but it's always nice to hear it from others as well. Yeah, as I said, I think especially now it's always one thing seeing a watch on the Instagram ad or on the website, but having it on your wrist, touching and feeling the product, especially when you come with new materials, right? It's always, you can't imagine the watch if you say, okay, we have a new material, but you just see a picture. People have to go to the stores, touch it, feel it, see how it feels on the wrist, and usually that's the moment where we gain some new Norqainers and our community grows when they see the product.
100%. You have to see the product, you have to see the material. And in watches, you have to try them on, because to the time they don't sit on your wrist,
yeah,
you will never know how they look and feel.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not only Norqain,
yeah,
right? It's
any brand.
And luckily, I always say most brands on the wrist, it looks better than on the picture.
Absolutely,
or on the display.
100%.
So you always have to
100%. I agree with you. 100%. Norqain has been positioned as an outdoor adventure, young, dynamic product as a brand. How do you plan to get the more traditional or the more conservative or the people who like a bit of vanilla product into your fold? Do you have any thought processes for that as well?
I think for us, it was always very important to be authentic. No, and we said if we're going to have our own brand, we want to bring our values and our beliefs into the company, and then support organizations and people who have those same values. I think something which is also very important that we accepted from the beginning: you can't make watches for everybody.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
If you try to do that, I think you lose your identity, and it's not authentic, and people notice, and the product suffers. So at the moment, we love sports, we love the outdoors, we love the Swiss mountains. That's why it's all about outdoors and sports activities. Of course, there will be different angles in the future, but this is us, and that's why we're sticking to it. I'm not saying there won't be more conservative projects maybe in the future, or more traditional things, but at the moment we're happy with what we're doing because we really see ourselves in the brand and in the product.
This is perfect. Thank you so much for taking your time to speak to us.
Thank you.
And enjoy your stay in Dubai.
Always do. Thank you very much.